The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers, commentators, experts, and/or host. They do not explicitly or necessarily reflect nor represent the channel's policy or the views held by the channel or broadcaster. The broadcaster or its channel cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program.
Well, good morning, grace and peace to everybody. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we're going to rejoice and be glad in it. And yes, it is another inspirational Friday. And I tell you, this week I am so excited to have with me none other than Garland Briscoe. That's his government name. I just call him Briscoe, and other people call him Donnie. So I don't know who might see this, but nevertheless, that's who we got this week. And I'm excited about it because he's got a powerful testimony. This is Inspirational Friday. Y'all know how we do. We don't do shout outs other than our churches today. So I need you to go into the chat, type your church, type your pastor, type the time that your service is on. We always say this is not your Sunday service. This is just to get you ready for the weekend. But once again, I am excited about my friend. We were just trying to figure out how long we've known each other, but guess what? It does not matter. Good morning, Donnie. Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
How you doing, Greg?
Great. Listen, I want you to have as much time as needed because you've got a powerful testimony. And I tell you, one thing that I found out is that we're still, people are talking about looking for miracle signs and wonders. And I'm looking at one right now. When you reached out to me and told me, as a matter of fact, I've seen the videos, I've seen the pictures. I mean, it's just amazing what God has done. So, look, this is what I want you to do. I want you to relax. I want you to just be yourself. Well, I don't want you to be yourself. Listen, but I want you to share with us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Matter of fact, you can tell how we met, and just come on through the timeline, and then get us to the main point of what God has done for you just recently. We're not even talking about last year. We're talking about just over the last couple of months what God has done. So introduce yourself to those. Sit back, like I say, enjoy this next 30, 40 minutes of your time. And at the same time, go ahead and put in your church name and your pastors. Y'all know how we do. This is nothing new. So Donnie, I'm turning it over to you.
All right. First and foremost, let me me and Greg met working at as contractors for DirecTV. I don't know the actual year, but we probably known each other over 20 plus years. And I believe we known each other probably 20 plus years before that, because when we met, I don't think it was a formal introduction. It was just a, hey, okay, let's go. It was just one of them things that, you have people that come in your life, for reasons and seasons. And this was definitely a reason and a season. And it was it became a bond, a brothership, friendship that is unexplainable. And one thing when God's involved in anything, it's unexplainable. It's just God of God. So first and foremost, as I said, Garland Briscoe, Donnie Briscoe, just Briscoe. At the end of the day, I'm a child of God. And I want to give thanks to him first and foremost, because I sit here not under my own accord, but of his. It's a blessing to be here. I might get a little emotional during this broadcast because I know I'm supposed to be here. And at one point in time, I was trying to figure out why I'm here. And before my ordeal happened, which I have a rare blood disorder called TTP. it's it's one of them disorders that create many small blood clots throughout your system. Not gonna go into too much into that. That's why we put that up there so you guys can go into it at your free will. When Thursday, March the 27th, I was working with a friend of mine. Oh, first let me go back. Want to give pass the bottle of Zion Church, Greenbelt campus, what's that? Landover campus, Fort Washington campus, all the above. Tremendous pastor. I like him. He speaks to me. And speaking to Greg the last week that we actually talked in person, he informed me that, we were just talking. I was just like, Greg, I'm trying to figure out what it was that God wanted me to do. And Greg said, well, each one of us have an assignment. And my assignment is not his assignment. His assignment is not your assignment. My assignment is to reach the people that's in my realm. And so to speak, it made sense that I will never be able to reach the people that he reaches, nor will he be able to reach the people that I can reach. Each one of us have a specific assignment for a specific reason for a specific group of people. And that resonated with me because I'm around football a lot. So just because that's a gladiator sport doesn't mean that you can't go out there representing God, first and foremost. So people that know me, people that knew me, whatever story they can tell you about me before 2025, March 27th, believe them. Not all good, not all bad though. I've always had a sense of humanity, so to speak, whatever I was doing. But I wasn't always doing what God had intended me to do. So prior to me contracting this disorder, this blood disorder, for about 2 weeks, I was going to work and I was on 495, and I would cry going to work for a period of time, thinking about my mom and my sister, who I lost, and didn't know why. I just was crying for some reason, for some odd reason, at some point in time during that travel. And I would ask God, show me my purpose. Show me my purpose. Apparently, I was not listening. I would say, man, it's time for me to leave this job. Apparently, I was not listening. So throughout this whole ordeal, God has had his hand on this whole thing. So for some of y'all that might say, oh, Brother Briscoe, I'm sorry that happened to you. Nah, this had to happen. This had to happen in order for this to happen. For what you see in front of you, it had to happen. And I'm so blessed that, those who might see me, I mean, you gonna have. I mean, as we change anything in our lives, and we change it for the betterment of us, and seriously, as we change it spiritually, individuals are going to say and going to wait and look at you with a magnifying glass, waiting for you to demonstrate some form of behavior that you're used to. And I'm here to tell you, I'm still on the operating table. And if by chance I demonstrate some of that behavior, it won't be long lived. And guess what? I've allowed people to kick me so long that now's the time. I got your foot, and I'm turning it away. It doesn't mean anything to me. I'm like, what's that guy? Under Armour guy. I will protect this house. This is my house. This is something that was God given. So, for everyone that sit up there and just judge people in your churches around them, well, just stop it, man. Just let people just do what they do and let them. It's a process. Just as well as you had a process, it's a process. Okay, so March 27th, I was helping some friends out, and a lot of this, what I'm going to tell you, is me being told what was happening. Some of it will be of my knowledge, some of it will not be early on. So I was helping some friends out, and we was stripping floors in a church. How ironic, right? Apparently, one friend giving me water, and I would take a sip of water, and I would throw the bottle on the ground. One sip, a bottle, and I would do this repeatedly. I was told, Briscoe, don't walk in that, man. That's slippery, and I would just walk right through it. So, being around friends that knew me, they knew something wasn't right, and they called my wife. My wife came up there. At this point, they took me outside, and I turned back and looked at the door of the church, and I was like, how did I get here? It was like I was teleported. I missed something. So I got up to walk back in, and the next thing I know, my wife was there with her hand on the small of my back, just leading me out like I was a little child. We was late for a party, and I didn't know what was going on. She rushed me to Kaiser, and I remember walking in Kaiser. I remember two individuals approaching me on either side, and they grabbed me. And I just remember becoming, just like, oh, you guys are manhandling me. I don't know. We're not doing that. I remember being a little, didn't want to be restricted. And everything else was told to me. Okay. From there, I think about an hour, 2 hours later, I remember getting into the back of an ambulance, walking, sitting down, and to have those same two individuals close the door. I remember me getting up, saying, oh, something I don't like about this, and I'm trying to get out of here. That was March 27th. And this all happened around, I'm going to say it started around about 4:30. From there, I jumped all the way to March 29th. So I went through from Kaiser to the new PG to University of Baltimore, Maryland, and it's March 29th. March 29th. I couldn't tell you the time, but I just know it was March 29th that I came to. So now when I come to, I got friends, I got family, and I still don't know where I'm at. I'm being shown pictures. I'm being shown audio of what was said and what I've seen. And I see myself with tubes in my throat. And that's April the 2nd. I'm in ICU March 29th to April the 2nd, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And it was just something that came over me that can't be explained. It was a feeling. For so long, I had been allowing myself to be beaten down. Not only also with my own self, beating myself down, saying I wasn't good enough. I wasn't this, I wasn't that. At the same time, cherishing family, cherishing friendship, cherishing all these things, not understanding how mentally and spiritually broken I was because of the lack of self-esteem that I had in myself from allowing people to beat me down like that, unconsciously, not knowing. And those that is listening to this right now, they like, nah, not Briscoe. Hey man, I'm telling you, yeah, Briscoe, man. So I'm telling you, man, we need to check ourselves, man, sometimes, man. And now that I've been shown the grace of God, hey man, I'm trying to tell you something, man. It's a wonderful thing, man. Won't be beaten no more. I won't be broken anymore. not by anybody that walks this planet at this time, until the one comes that walks the planet, that's supposed to walk the planet. So my wife, it just felt like a time then that I just cried for like 72 hours. And my wife labeled me leaky eyes. And I was like, why you label me leaky eyes? She's like, you just steady crying. Because I didn't feel love. I didn't know I was loved. I didn't know I could be loved like that. And when I tell you, let me go back. I got laid off from my job of 14 years on March the 3rd. So when I tell you God had his hands on all this, he had his hands on all this. Right? So I'm in ICU, and they put me, when I get out of ICU, they put me in a room when I come out of ICU with a young brother. He was actually from Baltimore, and this young brother, man, he wasn't, he didn't seem like he was talking and everything, nothing like that. And I just made it my mission that me and him was going to connect. By the time we actually left, we actually got there the same day. We actually left the same day. So earlier I said people come in your life for reasons and seasons. We still in contact right today. He's a good young brother. I mean, he opened my eyes to something. So I'm here to tell you, you old guys, man, and you old people who think you can't learn something from a younger person, believe me, you can. If you just open up your ears, close your mouth, and let them speak. All right, so now we're back, and I'm asking my wife, why? So the doctors, they coming in there telling me what it is that they can do, what it is they can't do, what it is that they don't know about this, and things of that nature. And my wife said to me, listen, you have to start advocating for yourself. And I look at her, what, me? Nah, I don't let nobody do anything to me. So I took that as a personal mission, because they didn't have enough information. This disorder only been out 25 years. The medication that treats it only been out 8 years. So, in medical terms, that's what we're going to say, 25 years. We're going to say that's 10 years with not enough time to, or not enough data to know anything that's prevalent other than related symptoms. And in medication form, it's 8 years. We're going to say that's about 3. Because now we're dealing with what works and side effects. And that's from patients. That's not from doctors. That's from patients. That's from information gathered from patients. So if you have a patient that's not being forthcoming, then that information is valid. Is voided, because we don't know what we're not getting. We don't know what we're getting. So again, we are moving on. So doctors there. So I'm starting to do my research. I'm up at night. I'm up. I'm going to bed. I'm going to sleep around about 4 o'clock. And that becomes a nap, because, as you know, if you've been in the hospital, they come into your room at 5 o'clock, taking your vitals, and doing things of that nature. So that right there. So, so just the mere fact, I had a situation, man. I had an evening one day, and it was like I was engulfed in I don't know, put it in layman terms, like if you ever been to a concert, and when someone comes out on stage and they comes out with that vapor, it felt like that. And it looked like I could see it, but it started from my ankles and just worked its way up to my head. And it was a feeling that I've never felt before. All I know is that I did like it. All I know is that I did receive it. And from that point forth, man, I went to work. I had my phone, I had my laptop, and I was on it. I was on it. I was, man, TTP, what is it? So, they got acquired, which is ATTP, and then they got inherited, which is ITTP. I had the acquired TTP. So, okay, so now we got something to deal with. So now I know what I'm dealing with. So this treatable, and this, I can get rid of this. So we're going to work as hard as I can to get rid of this. And if anybody knows me, I approach life, because one of my passions is football, whether it be just football all around. I ain't even got to go into that. If you know me, you know. One of my passions is football. Well, not the passion I have is football. So I go into my life like I'm approaching football, and I approach football like I approach my life. So now We got a triangle effect. I'm approaching this ATTP like I approach life, like I approach football. So we just going to keep on doing that. And then when you talk about placing God in the middle of that triangle, oh my goodness, man. Unreal. 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 When I tell you unreal, I'm saying that it's highest. Unreal. Excuse me. So now I'm doing my research. So now that the doctors coming in and out of my room, I'm telling them what it is. I'm letting them know, first and foremost, the symptoms I have. I'm letting them know, Doc, you said it was this, man. You said this and that couldn't happen. You said that could happen. Nah, Doc, that's kind of like the furthest thing from the truth. And I'm starting to educate them. And I'm educating them in a way, not that they can understand, but I can understand because I'm using analogies. I'm using analogies like scissors and strings or barriers or and rust and things of that nature, because all of them have their respective titles deal with the medical terms that they use. You know, ATT. Adams TS13, von Willebrand, plasma, platelets, antibodies that my body is creating that it shouldn't be creating, because that's the big factor in here, is that my body was creating antibodies that it shouldn't be creating. So now I started saying to myself, I started saying to my wife, why are all these people coming in my room? And she say, babe, they seen you when you came in here. And I'm like, what do you mean they see me when I came in? I see, what do you mean? You're nothing short of a miracle. They seen you. So just to give you something, if you know anything about platelets and you know the normal range of platelets, it's from 150 to 365, and we're talking about 100,000. So 150,000 to 365,000. But we're going to go ahead and just go ahead with the 150, because I don't want to keep on saying 1,000. My platelet count when I came in was 14. Now you say 150 to 14, man, that's rough. If you go ahead and you say 150,000 to 14,000, man, that's rough. Now let me back up. This disorder is so rare that only 2,000 people in America has it. This disorder is so rare on a bigger plane that only 6 out of 10 million people has it. So you ask yourself, is this something to really worry about on a medical field? Well, no, because there's not enough people getting it that we're concerned, unless you get it, right? So again, like I said, God had his hands on all this. He knew what it took. He knew what it took to get me to start working. Wouldn't get paid no money. This type of work, some of you get paid, but this work right here, you've been working on the other side of the track. You ain't had nothing to say about that. But now I want you to work on this side. Now I'm tired of playing with you. You came in, you asked me a question. You said, what is my purpose? What does he say? Ask and you shall receive. Be careful what you ask for if you're not ready to receive it, because at the end of the day, when you're doing God's will, he will never, and I mean never, not that, not let you down. He will never let you go around. You will have to go through it to understand what's going on with it. So, with that being said, the process started to happen. And as the process started to happen, I felt myself starting to change. And I felt myself being led. I felt myself, getting a sense of confidence. I felt myself becoming who I'm supposed to be. Those of y'all who know me, I was born to be a leader. I took a back seat for a long time because I thought I was doing God's will by saying yes, 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 yes. Man, through this whole thing, through my readings and my studies, God don't always say no. I mean, God don't always say yes. So who am I to say yes? I'm not
Yes.
doing you no justice by keep telling you yes, yes, yes. I'm allowing you to fool yourself with me being the biggest culprit. I hold a bigger responsibility than you. You asked me a question. I just in turn lied to you because I worried about your feelings. Come on, man. That ain't right. And shame on you for those of you who ask someone for their truth and they give it to you and you don't want to receive it. At the end of the day, my father said it, my mother said it, my grandmother said it, your grandmother said it, your great grandmother said it. As long as you can remember, one thing stays true: the truth hurts.
Mm.
It's supposed to. That's what's supposed to build you. That's what's supposed to change you. And that's what changed me. The truth started to hurt. And that's and you know, I was thinking that I was like I was talking to Greg, I was thinking that I was saying, I remember asking Greg sitting over his mom's house. And I said, Greg, I was thinking, man, why me? He said, why not you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Who better to use?
Yeah.
Who better to use?
Yeah.
Me in my arena, not in yours,
Mm-hmm.
but mine, because I reach the people in my arena. They my people.
Yeah.
You know, they seen me. They seen where I was. They see where I am, and they gonna see where I'm going. And that right there is what matters because a lot of us judge folk by what we think, what we think they are, or our opinion of them. Let your opinion be just that.
Mm.
Let your one thing I'm gonna tell you about opinions. Me and my wife talk about this all the time. I say, babe, it doesn't have fact. It's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion. You will never see my opinion in the dictionary. You would never find a fact on my opinion. My opinion is going to be my opinion. Don't debate someone's opinion.
Yes.
Understand the verbiage I use, debate. Because when you start debating someone's opinion, that ain't gonna go well anyway. Because you are debating what they think about something that they feel that they feel.
Mm.
One thing about opinion, there's no fact finder. There's no fact finder. Let the opinion be what just it is, just what it is, an opinion. So, you know, I mean, I have I have grown so much in the spirit in a short period of time.
Yeah.
Greg seen it. He seen it what 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was over his mom's house, who
Yeah.
recently just passed. May she rest in peace. Uh, and I couldn't stop crying.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop crying, man. And
But I shared with you I shared with you that um Jeremiah 29:11 is a prime example that before you were formed in your mother's womb that he already knew. And I shared with you, I say, who is a better candidate than yourself? You follow what I'm saying? Because a lot of times what happens in life, and this time last year, I preached a message, it had to happen. And a lot of times we don't realize it. We get into that pity party. And for a minute, that's probably where you were, into this pity party. But then once you realize that, listen, he created a new day for you. And in creating that new day, it gives you an opportunity to do what you're doing right now, and that is to share your testimony. Because believe it or not, there's somebody that's going to see this broadcast that thought that they were in bad shape. But what did you say the numbers? How many what's the odds of people having what was
two
diagnosed for you?
thousand 2,000 in America, 6 out of every 10 million.
And we talk about, I don't know how many billions, but it's a
Yeah,
billions of people. You know what I'm saying? And so when we look at here we are looking at something, and that's why when you shared it with me, I say, oh no, I got to get you on here. I say I got to get you on here because the testimony that we read the Bible. And we got to get ready to go. I'm probably have to bring you back on. I already told you I probably was going to bring
yeah,
you back on.
yeah. We
But
got
we read the
we
Bible.
just scratching the surface.
Yeah. We read the Bible, and a lot of times what happens is we read it as a story. But here we are. I'm looking at a living, walking miracle because I got a chance to see the videos. I got a chance to hear the doctors talking and everything. And you are definitely, as I say, a walking miracle. Listen, Briscoe, we got to get ready to go, but I appreciate you for taking time out of your busy schedule. You
I ain't doing nothing.
you got a regiment that you do now,
Yeah, yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and you're following it to the T. And so once again, I thank you so much for sharing just a tab of it. And I'm going to bring you back on because the truth to the matter is we are each other's keeper. And a lot of times what ends up happening is we get into our own little pity party and we think it's just about me. I'm the only one going through. And in reality, I'm looking at somebody that had it not been for the grace of God, uh, I wouldn't have seen. Matter of fact, when I heard about it, they would have been telling me about it. And so I
Mm-hmm.
thank God that God touched your body. I thank God for those that surrounded your beautiful wife and your children and everything. And we're going to continue to pray. Of course, we're going to stay connected. This is not the last time that you're going to definitely come and be a blessing. Um, Once
Let
again,
me
give
speak on.
give your church yeah, go ahead.
If I can speak on that word pity, man,
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
got to understand who that word's from. You got to understand because if he can get you to feel pity,
Yeah,
who you're not looking towards. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
yeah, yeah.
Let that
That's
one
good.
sink in. Let
That's
it
good.
marinate for a second.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, give your church a shout out again. And
Zion Church,
yeah,
Pastor
Zion Church.
Back.
Okay. All right. Pastor Battle. And of course, I'm at the Lord's house, located at 1240 Highway 138 in Conyers, Georgia, where my pastor is Bishop Eugene Taylor. And we are there every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and on Wednesday night, virtually on Facebook at 8 o'clock. Listen, I love all of you all. I will be back as always on Monday with Overflow Monday with none other than Pastor Sean Brock. I definitely want to say to my friend, my buddy, my brother, Briscoe, I love you with not some of my heart, but all of my heart, man. I appreciate you for stopping by and sharing. And to the Faith and Tea family, listen, as we always say, this was not your Sunday service. This was just to get you riled up to go to service on Sunday. And for somebody that's going through, you're looking at a living testimony. God bless you. Heaven smile upon you and have a phenomenal rest of the weekend. God bless you.